Hello everyone and welcome to some more TORA highlights, this time for the third week at Spa-Francorchamps. Rounds 5 and 6 for the season, and we're in qualifying right now, doing our session here to get into the lobbies that we need to be in, and it is actually our fastest lap of the session. I did feel there was more in this lap time. My personal best before this was a 12.6, and I might upload that lap, I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't, obviously the 12.6 isn't that quick, but I might upload it and just do a setup for you guys. But in this lap, yeah, as the quality goes to Narnia and back, we're going to go into just basically what I felt in the car. It wasn't too bad. It did feel a bit different than in practice. Again, it's something what I'm experiencing. I think some other people are saying the same sort of things, but it's the way it is, I suppose. I think in each session, as I said before, the game is different and the track conditions are different in each session with different wind directions, so we got to kind of adapt to it really. But pretty much, I think I felt that I got the car pretty much nailed in the kind of the aero department, particularly in the corners. But in this race, we're really lacking straight line speed, and you'll see that throughout the highlights. It's legit no straight line speed, because I put 1.5 aero on, or 1.4 I think it was, and it just, yeah, it gave me no straight line speed. A lot of people were running sort of 0.1, 0.3, something like that. So that's something to think about going into the upcoming rounds after this as well. Think about aero and stuff like that, and trying to, obviously with less aero, you're going to get more oversteer, so you have to try and change that in the setup a little bit as we go wide there. Now into section, which is actually my favourite part of the circuit. It's quite fun, down in third gear, and you get it right if it was good. And I just had a little bit of understeer. I don't know what it was, I just couldn't generate tyre temperature, perhaps. Something to do with that. I don't know what it was. I just had lots of understeer, but it felt good. The car felt fantastic. And initially, this opening lap was our fastest lap of the session, even though there was many attempts where I could have gone faster. But this is a very tight session. It's 10-minute qualifying, and you can only really get out 2 laps, 2 fast laps really. So it's a bit of a struggle with the 10-minute qualifying for this. You can't really get many opportunities, and if you fuck up one lap, you kind of got one more lap to go, so it's kind of pretty difficult. So we head into the last to the bus stop chicane now in second gear, trying to get a good run out of here. I was a little bit tentative with the throttle because I didn't want to bottle it, because I knew that I only had like another attempt at this, but across the line we come, it's only a 13.2, which is 0.6 off my personal best, so a lot of time lost there. I felt I could have gained it back. I did try again for another run to try and go for it again. So here is my next run in session, and I did try and push it a little bit hard. So into turn 1 we go. I'm going to break down it into second gear, turn it in, clip the apex nicely, get a decent run out of it. A little bit tentative, but I didn't want to oversteer it out that first corner. It's pretty easy to do so. And if we head up Eau Rouge, we'll take it in 6th gear. You could run it in 5th, but I choose to take it in 6th. So up the 6th gear we go, and up Eau Rouge, and pretty good there, but we're losing a little bit of time, and from lap to lap, for some reason, you can take Eau Rouge better, because obviously I'm guessing because the tyres get more warmed up, you can take there's more grip. So I felt that again, the tyres were struggling with the window a little bit. As we head into this right, left, and right, very tricky section, down into third gear, hit the apex nice initially, and pretty good so far, and then to the right, which is flat, just about. I struggle to get it flat, and I get on that curb, and yeah, that's pretty bad, losing a little bit of time there. Now into this corner, in second gear, you want to hug the inside a little bit. You could run it in third, but second's a bit better. Short shifting it to third, and then to the left, very tricky, keeping it in third gear. You want to hit the apex as much as possible, but you don't want to go over the curb too much, because you'll bounce over it, and you'll cause yourself to die. And now into this left-hander now, down into keeping it in 5th gear. A little bit of braking, but not too much. And that was pretty good. Much better than my previous lap, and it was better. This lap was much better than my actual the current best. Down in third gear again for this right left, very fun, hitting it really nicely, hitting the apex is more better than it was on the actual qualifying lap, my personal best. And now into third gear, keeping it in tight, not running it too wide, and this was just much better. This is a really good lap so far, and I knew this was actually up. Obviously, from the Delta, this is broken. You can see it's broken, and it's not telling me anything. So, but I knew from sort of references that I could see I was up. And I'm heading into this last chicane. It was basically do or die, in a sense, and I completely bowled it. Basically, I completely missed my braking zone. You'll see it here. You normally brake about there, but I broke there. And, yeah, too late. And I spun the car. So, annoying. I was up. I don't know, it probably wouldn't have improved my position. maybe on the actual grid itself it would have, but that's the way it is, I was completely messed up there on my own and broke way too late. Normally you can see a shadow on the circuit, that's where I use my braking point, but obviously it wasn't there because it was clear in the session, so there you go. That's a complete fuck up of this qualifying session. But moving on to the first race, we're in Lobby A. We're starting, I think it's in P6, I believe it is. Or no, yeah, P6. So we're starting I think P6 or P5 or something like that in the session as we roll up to the grid. And you can see Burnout has absolutely had a massive mare of a formation lap. He's glitched out and he's completely broken his car. He's got some weird damage for no reason at all, and it is showing how bad this game is. So we had to wait a complete lap, 2 laps, to get his damage fixed and go around. He was so slow. So here we are, finally, within 2 formation laps. We're going to go racing here. We're going to be in position 5 for the start, position 5. And here we go, anytime now to go racing here. It's going to be called green, just around about, I think it's just after that banner there, and we've gone green here. And heading into turn 1, I was going very cautiously, didn't want to bin it at all, just want to keep it all cautious. Down into second gear we go, get so close to one of the TM boys, and I keep it all nice and clean, but the guy on the outside, which is, I think it was Alex Reed, he gets past me. I was very sensitive in the start here, but here I started to notice that I had no front speed. Look at them, they're getting away already before a Rouge. And I was scared here. Go for a Rouge for the first time. I lifted slightly. I didn't want to push it too hard. Obviously on green tyres, there's no grip on the tyres. Chris MK's gone wide a little bit. I'm going to try and get into his slipstream, and I do get into slipstream, but I'm off the circuit as well, and he's struggling, and I'm just going to be able to get past him before the braking zone. And now Alex Reed goes on the inside of TM. Chris MK, and I get up from the inside to Chris MK, leading him straight on the left hand side. I'm very cautious, and then we make contact. You can't see it because the stream started to kill itself. We make contact out of my own mistake. It was very slow through there, and yeah, just great, really. That means I get damage, and I had the pit at the end of the lap. You'll see after this corner, you see that another problem happens. A turn in, and it spins. So it's something to do with the overheating of the tyre, or just the tyre being a retard in general. This tyre model is completely shit anyway. So yeah, not really the start I wanted. Initially it was alright, and then it kind of pooed itself. So partly pretty much my mistake, to be honest. Driver error. Again, for me, when it's driver error, it's more frustrating than a game problem. But then again, a game problem is very infuriating too when you can't control it. So here we come to the pit lane. Gonna fix that damage. Gonna put some more fuel in the car. Just a tiny bit of fuel. I think I overfueled myself for this race as well. So I didn't really do much race running, so I didn't really understand how much fuel I needed for this race. As we go out on the circuit once again, and that's how pit stop's over and done with. We don't need to pit again. We're not going to pit again. We're going to take this off to the end. Only if we really have to pit, I'll pit again. But at this point, I was like, this can go to the end now. We're in 10th place, last place, Stone dead last, and we'll just try and do what we can. So moving on later on into the race, 27 minutes in, people are starting to pit once again, so just keeping it consistent at this point was what I was trying to aim to do, because I knew I could pick up some positions from the pit stops. So Burnout was actually in front of us. He had a really bad start to the race too, and I think he's going to be he's ahead of us by a couple of positions or so. Coming out of the pit lane, I think it's one of the THR Flex, or Flex actually bends it on the inside barrier. The inside barrier here is glitchy, and I think that's what happened to him, so he's slow going up a Rouge. So I could tell I had to be careful with trying to overtake him, because I didn't want to get into collision with him. And you can see he's really slow here, so I'm going to be able to get up to P8 here, which would be, for me, to be able to be P8, P7 would have been a good result to try and take away from this race, which has been an absolute misery. Again, luck hasn't really been on my side. It's partly driver error and partly just general other things. We get past him nicely up into P8. TORA, and we've got Burnout in front, but coming on later on to lap 25, we're going to get up into lap 25 minutes in, we get to P7 behind Burnout, who's in P6, so, things are looking good, but me and Burnout start having wheel issues at this point. Basically, there's a problem with particularly the Logitech wheel, where mid-race, the wheel completely changes. The feeling in the wheel completely changes. I think it happens on most wheels actually, not just Logitech, but it's a predominant problem with the Logitech wheels, that it just becomes like horrible to drive. You basically put a little bit of input in and it'll give you full lock, Or on the straight, the car will start moving on the straight, and you have to start turning on the straight line because it won't be able to keep in the straight line. So you see this later on. Burnout was experiencing it with his Thrustmaster. I think he had a very similar issue. It wasn't so much on the straight, but basically he couldn't go flat through certain corners that he could have done before, and it felt like he basically had no grip. And throughout this race, it had no grip. It's something to do with the heavy cloud, I think, with tyres as well. But it was at this point where I started feeling the issue, and yeah, just going really wide for no reason at all. So it became, again, a frustrating race. I hate how this game changes throughout a whole race distance. You know, it's only 40 minutes for a race, and this game can't cope with 40 minutes of racing, seemingly, because if you do, the wheels become inconsistent. And here, 4 minutes in, you can start seeing the problems I have, and I'm struggling up a Rouge, for example. Now, you could blame that on tyre grip, but it's definitely not that. In a straight line, you'll see I'm actually having to try and turn in a straight line. You see it's trying to wander off the circuit. It's as if I've got suspension damage, but I haven't. It's as if it's wandering off the circuit. It's trying to wander off, and I have to keep it in a straight line. And at that point, I became scared. I wasn't going to push it anymore. I wasn't going to, lose more points from this. I was happy just to kind of leave it to the end. Here again, it was doing the same thing. It's trying to wander off the circuit, and it's just annoying. Really annoying. Through turn 1 as well, it started having problems in the braking zone. These things are known and have happened before to many people, not just myself, with not just a Logitech wheel but with other wheels as well, and it's something that needs to be fixed because this game can't cope with a 40-minute race distance without the wheel changing. It's not me and it's not other people, it's generally the game. So I was frustrated by this. I thought I'd spin at the end of the race because that's what I thought about that race. I thought it was an absolute just shit show, and mainly because of my own issues and my own mistakes, but also from the game's problems that it continues to have week in, week out, that I continue to have and continue to experience. So just my bad luck, really. So we come on P7, basically constant thing for me, and here we are for race 2, hoping for a better race. That's basically all I could aim for, really, just hoping for a better race, really, as we go green once again for our formation lap. And we're going to go for our initial start of the race. This is our initial start. We're in the formation zone now. And, here I just hoped for a better race. I completely reset my wheel. Also, the wheel felt very light towards the end of race 1 as well. So, that's another reason why I had to reset my wheel. So here, we're going to go green any moment now. And we go green there, and we get a pretty good start. Again, everyone's trying to go aggressively this time. One thing, our teammate's gone on the inside, kind of bullying himself way through. I'm very cautious here, and at the exit, there's a massive collision, and between Burnout and I think it was Weber's, and we're now up to P5. So I was like, yes, there we go, that's some luck for us. And I was like, yeah boy, here we go. And Upper Rouge now got Flex on the inside. I was prepared to lift off. He seemingly has more strong speed than me. I'm in a situation with the TM boys. I'm struggling for grip, as everyone else is, with the cold tyres. It was supposed to be light cloud for the session, but it was heavy cloud instead again. And in a stream of the TM boys, I think it's Chris MK. Once again, like race 1, I'm going to try and go around the outside, but it's not possible. But then we have to stop the race because Burnout and Weber's had to go and fix their damage, and I think Flex as well. So basically, they're allowed to fix their damage, and we had to wait for pretty much the half race. We stopped it here and came to a standstill for a good 5 minutes. So yeah, this race was very little in terms of what racing action we had. So now we're back reunited with 11 minutes to go, ready to go racing once again. It's single fly restart, and I think we go around about here. So touring is gone already. I'm going to try and attack Chris MK, but we're going to take it relatively cautious into the best of chicane. There's no point risking it. Technically, this actually is the start of the race, as we try, but Chris goes deep into this chicane. I'm just very careful. Alex Reed's near me. He's on the inside. I let him have the space. He was scaring me at times. I'm not going to lie. I was watching my mirror very carefully. Heading into turn 1 now, again, taking it very cautiously, not aggressive at all, just being careful. I didn't want to hit anybody. It wasn't worth it for me. But you can see, initially getting up a Rouge, they're just getting away from me as they're abusing each other's slipstream, as they've just got way more strong speed than I have in my setup. And yeah, I felt like a McLaren Honda, really. That's what I felt like. Was running it wide there, nearly losing the car, and actually he's going to be all over us, and so is my own teammate Burnout. We're going to go 3 wide here, and I just let him have it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not risking it. I just can't be arsed at this point. Actually goes on the inside of Burnout, and as you can see, they make contact, they spin off, I avoid it nicely, and we're back up to P5 again, and we've got Flex behind us. Again, another guy that I look behind me often when he's really nearby me. I don't know what he's going to do next. I know he has a lot of internet issues, because I think I don't know why he's got internet issues. He's right behind us. I defend well. He knows he can't roll around the outside, so I defend it nicely as we head into the Bishop's Cone. And we're quite close to the leaders. You know, we're not far behind the leaders. That's kind of what happens, actually, in this race. We're quite close behind. Our pace didn't drop drastically at all, so we felt pretty good. Just again, look, just no straight line speed. I just can't have it in a straight line, so it's something to work on for the next races, to look at the wings, to try and just set up in the coordinates of the wings. Yeah, go deep here. That's my mistake, and Flex gets past me very easily, and I just let him have it. I'm like, yeah, just have the move. I can't be asked to go for it. And now one of the TM guys tries to go for it. I lift off. He lifts off. I didn't know who was going to lift first. I go deep and wide, and I'm going to get mugged off again. And this is becoming increasingly frustrating. But yeah, there you go, down in P7 again. And these two get away from me, and they had their own little battle throughout the whole race. I think, Weber's actually get past Flex. Flex goes wide. I try to go around the outside, and yeah, he's okay. He stays in front. So pretty good racing so far. Burnout's behind me now, and at this point, I start feeling wheel issues again. So I let Burnout go, and then Burnout makes a mistake, I think, and I get back up to P7 again. And again, just feeling all these weird issues. I was having wheel issues at this point. The car wouldn't stay in a straight line. I was struggling into braking zones. All these things, the steering won't light again. These things are constantly repetitive. No matter what you do, you can reset the game. You can reset your wheel. You can do all these things, and it doesn't fix. It doesn't fix it. So it happens again and again and again. So pretty much every single race I enter, I know there's going to be an issue, and there's nothing I can do about it. And every time I feel like I'm a danger to people around the circuit. It's not just me. I think Aiden's as well had the same issue. TM8, he had the same issues as well with his wheel, and you just feel like you're a danger to people on the circuit. And there you go, Flex is span it. I go through him, and you can see apparently we make contact. But on my stream, I go straight past him like a ghost, and we make contact. I got damage. And I go around the outside, he scares me. And we get to P6, we gain. Could have perhaps been P5, but then again, I don't know how quick Charlie was, really. Yeah, that was a weird accident. I went straight through him like a ghost. And apparently we made contact on his screen, but I didn't on my screen. But then I got damaged, so. Across the line here, equally pissed off about this one. Coming home in P6. Again, good points for the team, but just not what we want, really. Not getting the luck, and everything around the season, it's going to be the same thing. I know it sounds like I'm being miserable, but there you go, there's the results, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe for more racing content on this channel, and I'll see you soon for some more TORA highlights next week. See you guys.